The shortest war in history was 38 minutes long. This is unimportant.
Guaranteed to not change your life. This is the Unimportant Podcast.
Welcome to the Unimportant Podcast. My name's Anthony. That is Joe Bob. Today we're talking about the shortest war in history.
The shortest war in history. It was 38 minutes long. Some scholars argue that it's 40 to 42 minutes long, but just under an hour.
I take naps longer than that.
I can't. I've never taken a nap under 42 minutes or 38 minutes. So this is it's called the Anglo-Zanzibar War. It is one of those things when you see it on its face. If you read the title, you would kind of think this is some sort of legalese something like Congress voted to go to war,
it was an
and then they said,
accident.
"Oh, never mind," or some vote was null or something like that.
It was an accident, or it was a symbol of something, or
this was an actual war that happened on August 27th of 1896. People were fighting, and there were actual casualties. So this wasn't like a clerical war, like where again, like
what
when you see it on its face, you think, oh, someone declared war, and then. Imagine like the president declaring war and then Congress going, well, I think they have to approve it, right?
Yeah.
The president declaring war and then the Congress going, you can't do that. And they go, okay, well, the war's over. Yeah. Technically, that's a war.
Right.
This is not one of those cases.
This is a real war.
This is a real war.
Shots fired.
The immediate cause of the war was the death of pro-British Sultan Hamad bin Talwani on August 25th, 1896, and the subsequent succession of the Sultan being Sultan Khalid, who was not a pro-British type of, pro-British ruler, right? So Britain was not happy with this guy.
Right.
They instead preferred a guy named Hamad bin Muhammad because he had, he
was the Brits guy.
Yeah, a similar interest to Great Britain, and they were occupying this particular area, or Zanzibar. In accordance with a treaty signed in 1886, a condition for the new king to take, the new sultan to take control, the candidate was to obtain permission of the British consul. The new sultan did not do that, so he just assumed the power.
I'm in charge now.
He said, "I'm in charge now," which. Kind of rightfully so. Like we don't ask other countries if our president can be the president.
Well, no.
Yeah. So, if I were my own country and I was going to be the guy taking control, I'm like, no, I'm not going to have to ask you to do this. Like, I understand. I don't know all of the nuances, but I understand the reasoning behind it. The British then said, okay, well, there's a treaty here that says you have to do this, so we will declare war on you, and we're going to set an ultimatum date for 9 a.m. August 27th. So 2 days after, they go, 9 a.m., if you don't either come in accordance with what our treaty says or step down, we are going to war.
You done messed up!
At 9 a.m. on August 27th, the ultimatum was reached. At 9:02, the Royal Navy, who had 3 ships in the area, fired on the castle, immediately disabling all of the artillery in the castle. There was a huge fire that started. The Zanzibar castle, there ended up being 500 Zanzibar casualties.
What?
Yeah. So again,
were they not prepared? Like, did they do nothing to prepare?
I think they were calling Britain's bluff and like, you're not going to do it. You're not going to.
If I'm going to call somebody's bluff, I'm still going to be ready for them to shoot at me.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
So again, 9 a.m. the war officially starts. So the ultimatum is reached.
Who is in charge of this thing? In 2 minutes, like what?
In 2 minutes, they go, "Oh, man, we are in for it." So. In 2 minutes, they knocked out all of the artillery. They sunk the Sultan's main battleship, which was in the same harbor, because they think there was 3 British ships and 1 of the Zanzibar ships. They sunk that pretty immediately, and 38 minutes after the war started,
why wasn't it only 3 minutes? If you lose that bad in the first 2, like, put up the white flag, dude.
So what I think happened was they shot the artillery down, which started a fire, which the castle the palace that the Sultan was in was made almost entirely of wood. So it caught fire and started to burn, which is what caused the majority of the casualties there. And it took about 38 minutes to realize, we cannot put this fire out.
It took them 38 minutes to figure this out?
And the flag was taken down and the war was over. So it literally was like a 2-move checkmate in chess. You kind of think when people go to war, you're kind of in it for the long
it would
haul.
be like launching a grenade at the other chess side of the chessboard. This is kicking the table over.
I can see 12-hour wars, or even like a couple weeks is normal. Like not normal, but I can see that
even
happening.
those are just like standoffs, and then you realize you don't want to fight.
This one is.
They got their rear ends handed to them in 120 seconds.
That was fast.
2 minutes after, at 9:02. I think that's the most hilarious part. It is 9 a.m. The war is starting. 9:02. The war is essentially
It's
finished.
over. It's
because
over at
we
that
shot
point.
one thing.
They just couldn't find the white flag for the next 36 minutes.
Can you just imagine the Sultan? Like, if you're him, right? You're kind of thinking at 8:45. You're like, they're not going to do it. I'm going to remain in power. I'm not giving up. And then all of a sudden, 9:02 hits, and you go,
Yeah.
oh no!
Your entire worldview changed real quick.
You're very quickly.
Real quick.
But anyways, yeah, he ended up surrendering, and the Brits got their way, and it's unimportant.
Subscribe to the Unimportant podcast if you want to know everything you need to know about nothing you need